Welcome to our fourth and final episode of the Let's Talk edition of Spark by Maxis Business. I'm your host, Julie Woon. The last 2 years have presented a unique circumstance for the fashion industry. Movement restrictions and the rise of working from home have created shifts in fashion preferences, forcing industry players to rapidly adapt and evolve or fall behind. On today's Let's Talk session, we have Changr from OxWhite, a premium apparel brand that is famously known for disrupting the dress shirt market through its pre-order model and affordable prices. With him, we have Hugh Koh, founder of Pestle and Mortar, one of the most recognized and trend-setting streetwear brands in the country. With me again, we have Kevin Lee, head of the SME segment at Maxis Business. Having dealt with thousands of local SMEs, Kevin brings a wealth of experience and invaluable insights on the SME segment. Kevin, it's always a pleasure to have you here with me. All right, let's get the show on the road. Welcome, both CK and Hugh. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Thank you.
And both of you are obviously representing your brand. You're wearing OxWhite, you're wearing PMC. I see. Great collaboration over there. Now, both of you are obviously in the fashion and apparel industry, and you've created such a unique brand positioning. Pestle and Mortar, for the past 12 years, you are in pulse with what's trendy in Malaysia and relevant ongoings in our nation, and you've created quite a cult following as well.
We try.
Trend setting. Oh, you're being modest. Whereas OxWhite, for the past 3 years, you're purely online and you're well known as a premium, essential, affordably priced brand.
Yes.
So very different business models, but successful nonetheless. Perhaps you can share with us a little bit about your strategies and your model, starting with Hugh.
Sure. Yeah. So PMC itself is a passion project. I mean, none of us actually come from the fashion industry, and it's really about learning from experiences. And fortunately, being able to do it for 12 years, but a lot of it was really catering to people like ourselves. I think that was easy. From there as well, I think retail, that somewhat just naturally moved into always owning a store or wanting to own a store at least. Unlike CK, obviously, CK is great. I mean, I've been getting hit by his ads all the time. So, I'm actually interested, CK, to actually hear more about, how you guys actually do it. Because even for us, like, e-commerce is really the focus. I think it needs to be. But how do we actually do that? So we're still on the learning phase, and obviously I've got CK beside me here today to hear it from him.
Sure. Like, OxWhite started off with one simple idea. No retail store to begin with, because I came from a retail background, and I knew the expensive cost going to retail. So a lot of costs actually are not expensive. A premium product are not expensive to make, but they are just expensive to sell. So, OxWhite started with just pure, social commerce, using Facebook, using IG to tell the story and tell the brand.
It worked on me, man. I'm a consumer of your products, so
Wow.
it's working.
Perhaps a collaboration between both.
Hey, you never know.
Could be possible.
Never know.
Yeah, so you're purely e-commerce, and you are not looking at expanding into a brick and mortar store. Do you not believe in retail experience? Is that not critical for fashion?
I would love to go into retail one day if I can capture the data. Right now, due to the pandemic, I wasn't able to travel to China to see what's the technology available out there. So like facial recognition and all this. So the idea of my retail is I need to capture data. I need to know who buys what, not the transactional details on it. So if that's available technology, so I will be the first one going to retail.
And I think that's part of the success of OxWhite as well, is that you use data to understand your customers, and you create products that they need, that they require.
Yeah.
So instead of creating products and then try to sell it, you work the other way around. You understand your customers and you create what they need, and that reduces wastage as well. And sustainability is a huge issue in the fashion world.
Do you actually have your own systems built? In terms of like data harvesting or collecting?
No, we use a lot of third-party software, but then we have the data mining team that makes sense of the data.
Because for us, we're still a little more primitive. A lot of it is like what you said just now, speaking to the customer direct.
That is one of the issue, right? You could be a salesperson feedback to you, certain customer like certain design. But then you came up with that design, then who are you going to sell to?
True.
That person, you don't know who they are. But then for us, we have the data to keep track, even the out of stock products that customer request them, even if customer give us suggestions, we're able to when we create a product, we can feedback to the same customer who asked it.
Okay, so a majority of your business investment would go into technology, and it goes into innovation and data collection and
Yes.
harvesting.
Yes.
So it's more into that, and as well as social media ads and online presence.
Yes. So whatever way it is, we just try to make sure that all sort of information we have able to communicate clearly to the customers. We used to be did very amazingly with the newsletter, but then we found out that over the years, the opening rate is keep dropping down to 50%.
Even for us as well, actually, yeah, that is, I mean, obviously one of the most successful models because it's direct to the consumer itself, right?
Exactly.
But even we've been seeing that dropping, even our Facebook ads, just because now with Apple, I think not allowing Apple, what do you call this? Like Apple consumers, they don't actually get the ads anymore because of privacy, right?
So our Facebook performance has dropped 50%.
Wow.
From last year to this year, to now.
So what are you guys working on at the moment?
So we're working on a WhatsApp system. So a friend from Israel introduced this technology to me. It's been working really well in Israel. That means that I can send mass messages through WhatsApp without ban from users. So our order confirmation now, beside email, they will get a WhatsApp version, order tracking, customer review, and out of stock products and abundant cards. All this we have two systems to make sure our message get across.
Yeah, maybe later I'll speak to you.
Maybe I
Pleasure
also,
to share.
it's interesting to hear your view on what shifted last 2-3 years, because I think a lot of Malaysian SME experienced this drastic experience, this impact over the last 2 years. So both of you, apparently you sustain it very well and you build the business even better. So would you be able to share a little bit of what change did you see that you leverage on in terms of consumer behavior change, in terms of everyone moving into social media? What was your leverage? How it helped you over the last 3 years?
I think for us it's always been about that relationship with the customer. I think PMC has always been about that, where the community is always focused around the community, like centered around the community, like whatever that we're doing. So whether it be, I think over the pandemic, it was actually pretty exciting because we actually did a lot of community-led type events. And I think that is what was still able to drive that, because during the pandemic, right, everyone was selling. So, and everyone's obviously online, everyone's at home. So, I mean, there was definitely a spike in terms of sales, but it's also one of those kind of things, who can make the loudest noise?
Yes.
So, for us, it was like really back to back. Every month we had like a different campaign.
Physical campaign?
No, all online.
Online, okay.
Yeah, having to switch it. My guys got killed because it's like really back to back, right?
Yeah.
But how about you guys?
We very focused on our e-commerce store, and we leverage on marketplace actually. We wasn't strong in marketplace when we started the brand. We're only about a year, but we see a tremendous growth. The most importantly is that we tap into new pool of customers that we traditionally cannot reach by social media. They are these customers. They frequent buy from marketplace, so easy payment, checkout, and all this. So by tapping into the ecosystem, we've seen a huge growth, and we also participate in for example, Shopee Live, that seen like 10,000 viewers at the same time, and these customers, I look at them by commenting and interaction. I've never seen them before in my database.
In terms of like the mix of where's majority of sales actually coming from? Would you say your e-commerce itself, or would you say the other marketplaces?
Depends on month. Let's say year end of last quarter of 2021, 40% come from marketplace.
Okay.
And then Chinese New Year, January, we have 70% of our sales coming from .com. So 30% came from marketplace, because we have a strong recurring customers. 60% of customers who bought from us before, they come back, and during the festive season.
So will you encourage the retail brands out there? I mean, anyone who really want to go out there and try to online. There's so many different platforms.
Sure.
There's been a lot of talk about, should you go to the big marketplace or should you be your own store?
Yeah.
What's your advice? Do you think that you should just go multi-channel? We could tap on like what CK is saying.
So I think for us as well, we've actually gone down that route, and we still use one of these type platforms. I still remember actually having a chat with a friend, and a friend said, Hugh, these market spaces out there, they invest millions of dollars or even ringgit, on marketing, right? 98% of all online consumers are already on it. Why are you not utilizing that? For me, it was always more of like a branding thing. I wanted to really give that experience. And I mean, they've been improving over time where you can create your store-in-store concepts even online within these market spaces as well. So, we decided to actually also follow suit.
So how much of your income the past couple of years during the pandemic came from your e-commerce platforms, social media, Facebook and all that? Has there been a huge change? Because obviously brick and mortar is not income generating focus anymore, right? So it pivoted to more online presence?
I mean, we're still firm believers in the brick and mortar space, and we still want to make sure that we are able to maintain them. But do we need 10? Probably not. I think we can definitely narrow that down, and that is where we're currently at in terms of the business. So majority of sales actually happens mostly online through our own web store. That's where we're seeing it. But I wanted to actually ask CK, do you guys differentiate your products in terms of like your own e-commerce store versus what you put onto a third party?
Some product, yes. Some product we have exclusive launch with marketplace so that we get more exposure, special collaboration. Then there will be a special announcement for us. Then most of the part it is, but the what is the killer behind is we have a system that we can, a software that can push the inventory to 3 platforms simultaneously. So that is the important part. So if not, you will have your staff there manually allocate 20 here, 40 here, 20 here. Especially for apparel, we have many sizes and many colors. So to have a system, another system backend to able to push that product, it will auto deduct inventory.
Yeah, because even for us as well, like in terms of segmenting the type of product that we have into different type of sales channels. So again, whether it be maybe one of these third-party sites, it's mostly like doing a lot of like discounts, mostly on that. But on our side, maybe being a little bit more of like the newest products which are in, new arrivals type thing, and we do it through that, or even the brick and mortar. So
like for OxWhite, just to share with you, we focus have been always online. So we're looking at channels, how we find new channels online. So Facebook Live has been something we haven't been trying before.
Another interesting question, I think we also seen, since both of you come from a very diverse background, one starting from brick mortar, one something from online. They're all saying about omni-channel, multi-channel. Now, when you are on one space, you're going to go to the other space. So you have a lot of brick mortar try to go online, a lot online try to go to brick mortar. So that's omni-channel, right? What's your view? Do you think that is the way that's going to help you to progress even better?
Yeah, I don't think it's the only way, but I think it's the way for our brand. So PMC is very lifestyle driven, is the kind of community that we speak to, a little bit sort of younger base. And these type of people, like, it's not only the clothes that they buy. A lot of times I tell people, like, we're not selling clothes, we sell the lifestyle. So what comes with the lifestyle? Music, community, the type of people, the interaction, the food, the drinks. So all these things do play a part, and a lot of times, like, not so much our current brick and mortar store, but we're going to be opening up a new one, and that one's going to be more experiential. So think of like all those different pillars that I mentioned in one location.
Wow.
Yeah, so hope to share that with you guys soon.
Wow. Can't wait for that. And OxWhite,
you've
also created quite an experiential, sort of viral environment online though,
yes,
right?
Online.
Because you mastered the creation of hype as well as scarcity. Before you launch something, you create that hype and you make us believe that we need that white shirt. And you sell it out. You sell it out, and you've got a customer right there. So I guess experience can be made both physical and online as well.
Yes.
And this past couple of years, do you see a change in trend though? I mean, instead of wearing clothes out, lifestyle based, perhaps people pivot towards more comfort, more athleisure, more versatile. I can wear it for work, I can wear it to lounge at home as well. Has that changed your designs and the offerings in your brand?
Like for OxWhite, to begin with, we used to sell more than 100 white shirts a day. Now a week, we hardly sell more than 10. So the most part of the sales coming from lifestyle products, casual wear. Uniqlo, to be surprised, they start from a formal white shirt as well, a formal menswear, and they pivot along the way. Now they become a lifestyle brand. OxWhite we go to what customers want. especially during pandemic, our homeware products like the polo tee I'm wearing, our bath towels, our innerwear fly off the roof because they are basic and high in quality and it's durable because at home they wear off repeat and repeat again.
And that's what I'm actually seeing in trends as well, to be honest, EK. Like,
Yeah.
you know, those were the days where, you know, people want to wear really loud stuff, and this has changed over time. I think, like, right now, like, you guys are exactly in the right space because it's all about a little bit more minimalist. So even that's my style. Like, I like wearing simple stuff, but maybe I might throw on something with, like, a graphic.
Yes.
But I would say majority of most days is normally, you know, very basic and simple. So yeah, you guys are on
Like
the right track.
we have customers that bought like 20 of these polo tee. They just rotate different colors and wear it every day.
I think we can resonate with that, right? When you
Yes.
find a style that fits you well,
Yeah.
that hangs well on your body, and it's good quality and priced so well as well, you buy all the colors.
Yes.
All the shades. So it's very interesting as well. And we do have a couple of SMEs that would like to pose a question to the both of you. Let's take a look at the first question.
Hi, I'm Adesh from Bentuk Bentuk, handmade concrete makers. I have a question for Hugh from Pestle and Mortar. My question is, how do you relate past and present fashion trends, and where do you see Pestle and Mortar sits? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Adesh, for that question. Hugh, over to you.
Yeah, so thanks, Adesh, for the question. For us at PMC, it's always been about, I think what sets us apart, number one, is obviously, you know, the USP of the brand. A lot of times we think of it as we're a storytelling brand, and the way that we tell stories, or the medium of stories, is actually through our apparel. That will always constantly stay the same, you know, talking about identity, talking about culture, heritage, ideally who we are. But I think obviously trends are always changing so quick, and even I've seen it like, you know, we've been around now for, you know, just coming up to just over 12 years, and we've seen that as well. Back in the day when we first started, the t-shirts that we were doing had big graphics on it. But right now, you know, the trends are very different. People want more simple type stuff, and, you know, like what you guys are doing. So even for us as well, you know, we've somewhat, well, toned that down a little bit. It all depends, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're very graphic based. So, and that's what sets us apart. So we'll continue to do that.
All right. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Adesh. Let's take a look at question number 2.
Good day, everyone. I'm Colin Lai from Outpost, the largest retail chain of school co-curriculum uniform and camping equipment in Malaysia. I would like to direct this question to Mr. C.K. Chang from OxWhite. In light of the current labour shortage in the garment manufacturing industry, what steps are you taking to overcome the challenges in meeting quality control and delivery timelines? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Colin, for the question. CK?
Well, Colin has a really good and rigid question. It has been a challenge for us in terms of supply chain and late delivery and quality control since the pandemic, because a lot of products are made in the ASEAN region and we can't travel out to do the physical quality control of the product prior to shipment. So a lot of trust has to be put at the manufacturer level. So what me and my team has done is constantly have convocation with the manufacturing people to ensure pre-inspection done before ship out to us. And we still have some misses. And for the shortage of labor, what we try to do is, beside the products are made in Malaysia, we try to separate out to different countries so the risks are not in one country. Because we know that this pandemic had taught us that the risk can come from anywhere. So we would have products shipped by air, we have products shipped by sea, we have products shipped by land. So by diversifying all the risks to different countries and types of transportation has helped us to mitigate a bit.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, because I believe it has benefited many in the fashion and apparel industry. You know, I used to think that it was a saturated market in Malaysia, but clearly the both of you have created a brand, you know, for the past 12 years, for the past 3 years as well, that is very much alive and thriving.
Yeah.
Would you say it's harder to enter the fashion industry right now, or easier thanks to technology?
For me, it is much easier. Someone can just open a Facebook page or Instagram page or TikTok, can start selling, and Facebook Live too. So it's never been easier. But it's harder is how we communicate the brand message, right? For OxWhite, we also keep looking for new channel like Facebook Live to engage with consumers because there are another type of consumer out there like to purchase through live. So by able to keep changing over the time is important. But what is don't change is our promise to our customers. That is product quality. That a promise. So what we realize in Generation Z today, and that's been done through the research in overseas, they buy less than the younger generation. Today they buy less, but they buy better.
Yeah,
So OxWhite, kind of made that.
Yeah, and they're more conscious about what they spend. Perhaps we've got lesser money and we want to make value out of them. Out of that purchase as well. Any last words, especially for those who are in the fashion apparel line?
Don't go there. No. Like, I think we're having a conversation just before this as well. Like, I think it's been a really great journey. I think just overall, so I highly recommend it. If that's something that you really want to be able to do, obviously go out there and really pursue it. It's challenging, no doubt, like any business out there. But I think a lot of times, like if I were to really sum it down to one thing, would be the people, would be your team. I think that's always important. Whether you be starting off having people to always touch base with, I think that's important. So that would be somewhat my advice. Last word.
Yeah.
Thank you. So great communication, delivering on your brand promise, and to have good people with you as well.
That's right.
Working for the people.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, last words.
I think today we have a very good story from two different brands that come from very distinctive different direction. One is CK coming from pure digital online and e-commerce, and also then Hugh come from the brick and mortar. I think this is what a lot of SME in Malaysia like to know, and both of you are super successful over the last 3 years, leveraging on the whole consumer behavior change and the maturity of the e-commerce platform. So I think if for the audience, they probably need to know that leverage on e-commerce is the direction. I think both of them have already shown that. CK say e-commerce, internet, and digital will help you to understand your customers better, while I think Hugh will also share how you pivot into e-commerce to start to create that affinity with the customers, that the eyeballs are all there.
Sure.
I think the second thing that I pick up from here is that if you try to pivot into e-commerce and digital, it's not just one direction, but there's many, many different ways. Don't choose on one platform. I think multi-platform, omni-platform is the way to go.
Yeah, try. I think that's the key word.
The good thing coming from Hugh is even your brick and mortar is not going to die away, because this is what we've seen, that a lot of brick and mortar business actually turn the brick and mortar from a transaction into an experiential.
Sure.
So this serves as a very good example for a lot of Malaysian business to move forward.
So thank you so much for imparting such great insights. So this marks the finale of the Let's Talk series of Spark by Maxis Business. It's a pleasure to have you, Kevin, as always. Thank you very much, CK and Hugh. We wish you the very best and looking forward to more great collaborations, perhaps together as well.
Yeah. Never know.
And to all of you tuning in as well, we hope that you've gained valuable insights. We wish you the very best in all of your endeavors. Stay safe and we'll see you soon. Bye.